The list may surprise you, as some of the most dangerous creatures are not the large predators we often fear, but smaller and more prolific killers. When we think of dangerous animals, our minds often jump to the likes of lions, tigers, and bears. These large predators have long been the subject of our fears and imaginations, depicted in countless stories and movies as the ultimate threats to human life. However, the reality is quite different. The true dangers often come from much smaller, seemingly insignificant creatures that we encounter in our everyday lives. Take the mosquito, for example. This tiny insect is responsible for more human deaths than any other animal on the planet. Through the transmission of diseases like malaria, dengue fever, and Zika virus, mosquitoes have caused untold suffering and loss of life. Despite their small size, their impact is enormous, making them one of the deadliest creatures in the world. Similarly, snakes, while often feared for their venomous bites, are responsible for a significant number of fatalities each year. The venom of certain species can cause severe pain, paralysis, and even death if not treated promptly. Yet, these creatures are often overlooked in discussions about dangerous animals. Jellyfish too pose a hidden threat. Their tentacles can deliver painful stings that, in some cases, can be fatal. Swimmers and beachgoers may not even see these transparent creatures until it's too late. In this series, we will explore these and other surprising killers, delving into their behaviors, habitats, and the reasons why they pose such a significant threat to humans. Join us as we uncover the unexpected dangers lurking in the natural world and learn how to protect ourselves from these prolific killers. Hippopotamuses, annual deaths 500 to 3,000. Despite their herbivorous diet, hippos are highly aggressive and territorial, making them a deadly threat in Africa. Crocodiles, annual deaths 1,000. Crocodiles are responsible for the largest animal-related fatalities in Africa. Ascaris roundworms, annual deaths 2,500 to 60,000. This parasitic infection, known as ascariasis, causes malnutrition, impaired growth, and in some cases death. Ascaris roundworms are one of the most common parasitic worms found in humans. These worms can grow up to 35 centimeters in length and live in the small intestine. The infection is primarily spread through ingestion of contaminated food or water. Once inside the human body, the larvae hatch in the intestines, migrate through the bloodstream to the lungs, and then return to the intestines to mature into adult worms. The symptoms of ascariasis can vary depending on the number of worms present. In mild cases, individuals may experience no symptoms at all. However, in more severe infections, symptoms can include abdominal pain, diarrhea, and vomiting. In children, the infection can lead to malnutrition and impaired growth as the worms compete with the host for nutrients. In extreme cases, a large number of worms can cause intestinal blockage, which can be life-threatening if not treated promptly. Diagnosis of ascariasis is typically made through stool samples, where the presence of Ascaris eggs can be detected under a microscope. Treatment usually involves the use of antiparasitic medications, which are effective in killing the adult worms. Preventative measures include improving sanitation and hygiene practices, such as washing hands thoroughly with soap and water and ensuring that food is cooked properly. Despite being a preventable and treatable condition, ascariasis remains a significant public health issue in many parts of the world, particularly in areas with poor sanitation. Efforts to control and eliminate this parasitic infection are ongoing, with a focus on education, improved sanitation, and access to medical care. Freshwater snails, annual deaths 20,000 to 200,000. These snails carry parasitic flatworms that cause schistosomiasis, which damages internal organs. Assassin bugs, also known as kissing bugs. Annual deaths 10,000. They transmit Chagas disease, a deadly illness that, well, affects the heart and digestive system. Tsetse flies, annual deaths 10,000. These flies spread the parasitic infection trypanosomiasis, also known as African sleeping sickness. Dogs, rabies. Rabies is a deadly virus that affects the central nervous system of mammals, including humans. It's most commonly transmitted through the bite of an infected animal, with dogs being the primary carriers in many parts of the world. Each year, rabies transmitted by dogs is responsible for tens of thousands of deaths, with annual fatalities ranging from 25,000 to 35,000. The majority of these tragic deaths occur in regions such as Asia and Africa, where access to medical care and rabies vaccinations is limited. The rabies virus is present in the saliva of infected animals and can be transmitted through bites, scratches, or even open wounds that come into contact with the saliva. Once the virus enters the body, it travels through the nerves to the brain, causing inflammation and ultimately leading to death if not treated promptly. The initial symptoms of rabies in humans can be quite mild, often resembling the flu, with fever, headache, and general weakness. However, as the disease progresses, more severe symptoms such as anxiety, confusion, hallucinations, and paralysis can occur. Preventing rabies involves a combination of measures, including vaccinating pets, controlling stray animal populations, and educating the public about the risks and prevention methods. In areas where rabies is prevalent, it is crucial to seek immediate medical attention if bitten or scratched by an animal, as post-exposure prophylaxis, or PEP, can be highly effective in preventing the onset of the disease if administered promptly. Efforts to combat rabies also include mass vaccination campaigns for dogs, which have proven to be successful in reducing the incidence of the disease in many communities. By working together, we can help to eliminate rabies and save countless lives each year. Snakes. Annual deaths, 80,000 to 138,000. Venomous snakes, especially in rural areas without access to antivenom, cause many fatalities. Humans, homicide. Annual deaths, 400,000 to 500,000. Violence and murder make humans one of the most dangerous species to each other. Mosquitoes, annual deaths, 725,000 to 1 million. Mosquitoes transmit diseases like malaria, dengue fever, Zika virus, and West Nile virus.